There is reportedly an agreement to an extended ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran.
That new agreement still needs President Trump's approval, however, and according to two U.S. officials, he's still in the process of reviewing it. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest.
This morning, a potential deal to end the war with Iran in the hands of President Trump and top Iranian leaders. That's according to a senior Arab official directly involved in ceasefire talks, who told NBC News negotiators from both sides reached an agreement and are awaiting final sign-off. Vice President J.D. Vance weighing in.
We're going back and forth on a couple of language points. I do think that we've made a lot of progress here.
Iranian media released a draft of the reported deal that would reopen the Strait of Hormuz and extend the ceasefire for 60 days to allow for thorny negotiations on Iran's nuclear program that President Trump has said are essential to a long-term agreement. He again rejected that political pressure at home would force him to end the war faster.
I don't view that window. I view it, I have to do what's right.
The push for a deal has been tested twice this week, with the U.S. and Iran exchanging fire near the Strait of Hormuz. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth addressing American forces in Singapore overnight and quoting President Trump on the potential for more military action.
Iran can either do it the right way, with a deal across the table, or they can deal with my guy on the left. That happened to be me. But it's not me, it's you guys.
Raising the economic pressure, the Trump administration announcing new sanctions on Iran's oil trade, even as Iran pushes for sanctions relief in the negotiations. The Treasury Secretary said that won't be on the table until the president's central goals are met.
Open the strait, highly enriched uranium, no nuclear program.
As the world waits. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
All right, let's get a check on gas prices in Maine amid the latest negotiations. According to AAA, average price for regular gasoline in Maine is now $4.42 a gallon, down 9 cents from a week ago. The national average is down 3 cents a gallon at $4.39.
The U.S. Department of Justice is suing Maine for denying undercover license plates to ICE. Secretary of State Shanna Bellows tells us the state provides confidential plates to agencies working on criminal investigations. She says 48 requests from federal agencies have been approved for these kinds of investigations, but she says the state denied 11 requests from ICE in March because the agency did not agree to use the plates for not use the plates for civil immigration enforcement. A few weeks ago, officials with the DOJ told Maine to reverse that policy or face legal action, and now they have followed through with that. Bellows is also criticizing how ICE operated in the state.
What we saw with ICE here in our communities was targeting our friends and neighbors, seizing people off the streets for civil immigration violations. And quite frankly, sometimes our friends and neighbors had done nothing wrong. And that's why we said no. ICE does not get undercover license plates because there are no secret police here in Maine.
The Justice Department is also suing Massachusetts, Oregon, and Washington over similar policies. The June 9th primary is fast approaching.
Yeah, it's a week from next Tuesday, and ahead of it, we had our fourth and final Voice of the Voter debate. The Republican candidates hoping to run for the 1st Congressional District of Maine were facing off, and our Christian Harsa brings us some of the top moments.
Two candidates hope to unseat Shelley Pingree from her place in Congress. Joshua Petrowitz, at 26, is a born-again Christian with sales experience. Ronald Russell is 71, the same age as Pingree. He is a veteran, former defense contractor, and faced off against Pingree in 2024, but lost by double-digit percentages. That loss is something that Petrowitz says gives him a leg up in this race.
His record of experience and maybe being a career military man, we saw that in 22 with Ed Thurlander and 2024 as well, might not be in the appetite of the 1st District voters, so it might be time for a fresh change.
Conversely, age and experience, Russell says, are his strengths.
30 years in the United States Army and 15 years as a small business owner. So I've seen what it's like.
On affordability, both candidates say housing is their #1 priority. Russell says the 20% down payment customary for most houses is unattainable for most young people.
As a veteran, I can put down $0 and get a a home loan. So I think if we reduce the amount of down payment, we'll be able to allow more people to buy homes.
Petrowitz says cheaper interest rates wouldn't hurt either.
Having a 1%, 2%, or 3% rate loan as far as a mortgage for 30 years, so that way people aren't enslaving themselves to the actual home itself, is in the best interest.
Amidst ongoing talks with Iran, the current House of Representatives may vote again on the War Powers Resolution after the Senate approved it.
I probably would vote with the senators. Less conflict is going to be more winning as far as the American people are concerned.
I can't really tell you whether I would vote for it or not. I will tell you that I would have supported an authorization for the use of force if President Trump had asked for it.
Early voting is already underway across Maine for this June 9th primary. You can learn more at your local city or town office. In Portland, Christian Harsa, News Center, Maine.
Now, if you happen to miss that debate or the 3 others that we've had so far covering the state's primaries, you can find them on our website or our News Center Maine streaming app.